Fleming intercepting. Playing that forward nicely. McLeod's running wide. Higgins comes in, steers it in, and a goal. Beautiful solo goal by Tony Higgins. Waiting for half a chance there. Brazil going forward now to Callaghan. Brought down, but still in play, but out in front, and a great chance for Higgins, and a goal.
Was that really me? What a player he was. Well, it's wonderful after 25 years to return to my old stomping ground at Easter Road. 5 stone heavier, but the memories still so vivid. I've come to talk to my old pals Jim Duffy and Jackie McNamara, to meet the great characters who are playing for the Highbees today, and to renew acquaintance with that Hibernian legend, my old gaffer, Eddie Turnbull. Great players, marvellous fans. This is still a very, very special place.
Time to go for glory. Tell the Highbees story. Easter roads, pride and glory. Time to go for glory. Tell the Highbees story. Easter roads, pride and glory.
The thing that you've got to try and do is everybody was on about teamwork and good team spirit, and I think that is very important. But you must have individual talent within that to win you the games. Good teamwork, as I said, and good organisation can get you some results. But if you've got a wee bit of individual flair, a wee bit of magic somewhere in the game, then that's something that I think can win you a tight situation and get you the 3 points. And we've got to try and encourage young players to show their talents off as well.
When you joined this club, I saw you quoted as not realising how big this club was. Do you realise it now?
Yeah, I think certainly up until the playoff situation, you know, I was a wee bit unaware how much it meant to everybody in Edinburgh. But when we got there, you know, I think everybody was really shaking their boots, and I realised how massive this club is, and you know, how much responsibility was on my shoulders.
What do you think that playoff situation did for team morale at Hibernian?
Well, winning it certainly helped everybody. It pulled everybody together, and you know, that was vital for us. You know, and you know, I would have dreaded the consequences if it wouldn't have worked out favourably.
You've also taken the gamble of playing 2 of Scotland's most talented players, Tony Ruggie and Chick Chanley. You must be happy that it's paying off. Yeah,
I mean, it's one of these chances that you take, and you know, if you get a couple of good results, everybody pats you in the back, and if you don't, unfortunately, in some of the games they haven't done so well, then you kick yourself because maybe you thought you should have changed the side. But I feel it's I've said before, it's easier to be negative and you know, harder to win and be positive. And these type of players are the players I feel that fans on their day, they entertain the public. And I think fans like to see these type of players playing, and they're few and far between.
And of course you played beside 2 talented players, Andy Ritchie and myself, in the glorious Morton days. Is that rubbing off now with your inclusion of Tony Ruggie?
Yeah, that's right. I think I've been showing them videos of you know, people like yourself and Andy Ritchie, and I've been saying, look, there you are. And as you can see, he's becoming lazier by the week.
Now, what's your message to the Hibs fans?
Well, our message is that we're making slow progress. I think we don't want to get too carried away. You know, we had a very good start, and then we've dropped a little bit, and hopefully we can pick back up again. And I think it's important that we don't get too carried away too early on, and we don't get too impetuous. You know, I've been here under a year, and it's important that we develop the side over a period of time. So hopefully if they give us a little bit of time, we'll gradually keep improving, and by maybe you know, the start of next year again, then we might be in a position to put up a real good challenge and a sustained challenge over the whole season.
Levete stretching in the just enough. 1 goal apiece here at Easter Road. Pat McGinley's 4th goal of the season. Just a touch on there by Barry Levete. And McGinley did well. From McGinley to Crawford. McGinley again, he had to stretch a bit for that one, he did well. Levete is ahead of him. Here he is, it's Levete. It's number 2 for Hibs. With 43 minutes gone, Hibernian take the lead here at Easter Road. Barry Levete, his 5th goal of the season. Pat McGinley had done ever so well to control the ball in the first place. Started through then to Levete, who held up the challenge of Perini, which was coming in rather late anyway. And he just slotted it beyond Theo Snelders. Hibernian 2, Rangers 1. The like for Barry Levete and the Hibernian fans. Excellent play by Pat McGinley in his 2nd spell here with Hibernian. Perini failed to make the challenge. Right away, it's Levete trying to apply pressure as he did just towards half-time. Gets a break of the ball there. The early cross from him. That's another one, and it's Stevie Crawford. 24 seconds into this 2nd half. Stevie Crawford for Hibernian, his 4th goal. Hibs 3, Rangers 1. A sensational start to this 2nd half. Well, Levete got the break of the ball there, and he certainly used it to advantage. It broke perfectly for him. He sent in the early cross, and there was Stevie Crawford with a glancing header beyond Theo Snelders. 3-1 to Hibs.
From the Hibs heroes of today to one of the club's all-time greats, the legendary Eddie Turnbull, a marvellous character who gained the respect of the football world, both as a player and as a manager. 50 years ago, Hibs won the championship, Eddie. What's your memories of that great Hibs side?
Well, they're still quite close to me, Tony, that championship win. The guys in the side with some excellent players. Kerr, the goalkeeper, very, very good keeper. Big Govey, full-back, Jock Gummin, character, a real character. Davy Shaw, Hugh Howie, Peter Aird, Archie Buchanan, Gordon Smith, Bobby Combe, Willie Ormond, all great guys to play with, and great guys off the field as well.
What special talents did the great Gordon Smith have that would survive in the game today?
His greatest asset was skill. He had fabulous skill. And many a day he wasn't allowed to produce it because you had a lot of hard nuts defenders in those days. And, you know, many of them used to try and go out and bait him and do it. But over a piece, he always sort of invariably came out on top.
And that was also the start of a fairly successful period for that team, is that right? They won another few championships.
Indeed, with a few changes, you know. In the first one, I think Big Cubby was a regular, but then Laura Riley, he came in, you know, and he then became a regular. And then around about that time became the introduction of the famous five, as they so called it. Little Bobby Johnson came in just after that and all. But the whole thing was, the thing was based in football.
And that, of course, that message still prevails today.
That still prevails today, and that is what the Hibs are all about. And if you were taking a poll of the granddads, now the grandsons and their fathers and that, and they'll tell you, oh, see, in those days, see the 50s team, fabulous. And that was the start of the era, Hibs playing soccer. Renowned all over Europe and South America. And we didn't play the clubs at the bottom of the league when we went to Europe, Tony. We used to go every close season, and you bet your bottom dollar, we always played the league champions of the renowned in Europe.
And of course, at Aberdeen, Eddie, you established yourselves as one of Scotland's foremost coaches. What made you come back to Hibs?
I think possibly the main reason was Tom Hart, because I was very friendly with him as I was finishing my playing career then, when I came on, they used to call it trainer then, it wasn't coach, you know. And we got on very well together. Then actually, Hibs was the only club I would have come back to, because I could have gone to Ibrox.
Oh, right.
At that time. They had a meeting with them in the St Enoch's Hotel in Glasgow with John Lawrence, Mr Lawrence, the chairman. And but having been here all my career, playing, and then other than Tom Hart, I doubt if I'd have come back here.
I understand you both share the same interest in Old Par whiskey as well.
Well, good tipple, Tony, a good tipple.
Now that's 70, of course. It's the 25th anniversary of the magnificent victory against Celtic in the League Cup.
Yeah.
What's your memories of that game and that squad of players?
Oh, they were an exceptional squad, very talented. But when I first came in touch with them, mostly them all, other than say little Alec Edwards and big Alan Gordon, who I bought in, but other boys, they had been here and they'd achieved very little in as much as consistency or attractive soccer. And I thought, I've got to go about and try and instill into these boys what this club's all about. And it's all about entertaining football for the man in the street, the man that pays the money at the turnstiles. He wants to see goalmouth action, he wants to see balls coming across the goal, he wants shots, he wants, you know, excitement. And we'll give them that.
And of course, at that great Hibs side of 72, you had, in one flank, you had Edwards and Brownlee, a great combination.
Oh, incredible. Two wizards, really, you know, two really talented individuals. And it was to get the best out of these two guys every week, not just 1 week, but every week. And I don't think anyone can deny that that didn't happen.
And of course, on the other side, you had Eric Shadler, sadly passed away, Cropley and Duncan, dynamic power with subtlety provided by Cropley.
Contrast, Tony. The two contrast all through that side. You know, the skill, and it was balanced with pace and power and strength and what have you. If one cares to look through the team, they'll see that.
And through the middle, you had, of course, Pat Stanton and Alan Gordon and Jim Root was the focus up front as well.
Yeah, then behind them, you had John Blackley and Jim Black. Lots of people used to, Jim Black, if they look back at the records and see how few goals were lost through the middle of the park in that team. And the thing was, that team was based, and all good teams must be based on a good defence. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you're playing defensive football, that's just the base. And once you get that organised, then you start playing through, that's just what we did. You could sit in the stand, I could sit in the stand and you knew virtually every move that they were making, you know, because it was just a repetition. They used to do it in training during the week, do it on a Saturday, just another day for them.
And of course, I was part of that squad, and I wasn't the easiest character to deal with. And I never told you before, Eddie, but I had this flat in Edinburgh, which you didn't allow at the time. I had this wee after-match entertainment hovel. But also, how do you deal with these groups of players then? I mean, Alec Edwards, and there was a different character from Pat Stanton, who was different from Alan Gordon, and you had with wee Johnny Hamilton, who the wee Glasgow lad, good footballer as well. But it couldn't have been easy. How did you deal with them? You know?
Well, you never try and take anything away from them for a start, you know. And the thing was, I never bothered what players did off the field. I could tell the next day at training whether they had what they'd been doing or
So
what they
you
hadn't
knew
been.
what I was up to
I
then?
knew, Tony, I knew, because I'd
Yeah,
done
yeah,
the self
yeah.
same thing myself as a
Yeah,
player, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
see? And I could tell
Mhm.
if players, you know, were at it.
Mhm.
But
Also, yeah.
the thing was, even in our playing days,
Mhm.
we were the same, but come Saturday, come match day,
Mhm.
you gave everything, because everybody took a pride in the Hibs
Mhm.
jersey, Tony boy.
And also the other great, I mean, your great attribute is that you were probably the first of the modern day coach, and certainly in the Scottish game. And do you feel now that you were a man before your time?
Well, players that's played under me, they reckon that. You know, I introduced things into the teams I was in Scotland that the Europeans had been doing years before I'd done that.
Mhm.
And I think at the end of the day, I don't think there's one player that played under me here or say wherever I've been that would say that the man taught me the right things.
Of course, the modern game today, Eddie, is all about cash. And beside the register there, what do you feel about the current Hibs team?
The current Hibs team, you say that I was down quite recently there, the manager was having a talking type thing, or, you know, their supporters were down to express their views just a few weeks ago there. And I was quite impressed with the manager and his attitude to the game, and I'm sure, but again, see, time's a factor, you know. If he's got the right idea, I think, he knows what Hibs are about. He's one of the few people that have come in to this club from elsewhere and knows that Hibs will always be related to football. And I think he has that in his mind, and given a wee bit of time and the players that he has in mind, I'm sure he's making steps just now to play attractive football.
And also he's working with an old colleague of ours, Jackie McNamara.
That's right. Jackie was possibly maybe the best signing ever I made for.
You got me for nothing, of course. So we'll
That's
exclude
right,
that,
that's
yes.
right, Tony. But Jackie should have a lot to offer. Okay, he was a defender and an excellent defender, so he should be able to give his tuppence worth to the defenders, and they should benefit from his knowledge.
And I've got that sense of excitement provided by players like Chick Charlie
Well,
and Tony Rozier.
Charnet's a pity he wasn't maybe just a couple of 3 years a bit younger, you know. But skill, no substitute for it, Tony. But you must also have the other ingredients. But I think they're on the right track here.
That's good. Well, thanks very much, Eddie, for this interview. That I learned more in professional football 5 years with this man than I learned the rest of my career. Only wish I'd known what I know now 4 stone ago. Thank you very much, Eddie, for a wonderful contribution.
Pleasure, Tony,
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you. Following another Hibs legend, we both knew Eddie Turnbull, had many successful years there, Jackie. What do you think about Eddie?
Well, to me, Eddie was a god. He resurrected my career. I've got nothing but admiration and respect for the man.
And nowadays, of course, you're back at Hibs, you're a Hibs icon, a man from the peripheral estates in Glasgow like myself. How does it feel to be back in the Hibs club again?
It's a wonderful feeling. I never thought it would happen. I was just indebted to Jim Duffy when he phoned me out the blue, and it's very enjoyable being back involved with players again.
And of course you are Jackie McNamara's father. How do you cope with that side of it?
Probably the same way he coped as being son of for so many years. It's a nice feeling.
And what about the players coming through here? Any ones we should look out for in the future?
We've got a few good young players, boys that have been in they've been on the fringe of the first team. Eric Payton, young boy Andy Newman. There's a few good young boys. Darren Dodge broken through. Michael Rennick did it last year and he's still there or thereabouts. There's plenty of talent coming through.
And what is the tough tackling Jackie McNamara from his playing days? What does he impart to these young players?
Get into them. No, just enjoy your football, have self-belief in your own ability, work on your passing and improving yourself every day.
And of course, Jim Duffy, again, a colleague of mine, a playing colleague of mine from many, many years ago. What special abilities does Jim have in terms of leadership?
I think I've been very impressed with his communicating with the players. As you know, Jim's teetotal, but he enjoys the players having a beer and enjoying himself. He likes to instill a good team spirit. I think if you take that on the park, it helps everybody. If you've not got that, I don't think there's much hope of you winning many games, but he's trying to instill a good team spirit in the club.
Have you been converted to teetotalism?
No, he's never got me around that yet. I still enjoy a shandy.
Yeah, and where do you see Hibs going from here, and how far can this club go?
Hopefully we can look for a qualifying place in Europe. I mean, after the trials and tribulations of last season, anything's a bonus, but we don't want to be playing boring defensive football. We want to try and entertain the punters, and I think the players and the quality of players that were brought to Easter Road is fulfilling that ambition that Jim and I have for the club.
And where do you see this club 5 years from now?
Champions League, hopefully. Is that a bit optimistic?
No, I don't think so.
Thanks, Tony.
Thank you, Jackie.
shots is Andy Dow. It goes to Charmley. Toss!
It was very well done.
Brilliantly done. When they were expecting the shot, Charmley found the pass, and Paul Tosh slid in the equaliser.
Yeah, this is superb play, and in fact, it looks as though they had rehearsed that in the training ground, and it'd be most unusual, I think, for teams to practice free kicks inside the box, but I'm certain that they have done so, because that was a wonderful play, very creative, and a superb equalising goal.
Unbelievably, it is 25 years since Hibs beat Celtic in the League Cup final. I spoke to a man who played a major role in that famous victory, the great Pat Stanton. What are your memories of that day?
Well, it was a cold day just like today, Tony, and it doesn't seem like 25 years ago, but now that you've mentioned it, it was an important day for the club.
Edwards back to Brownlie. Brownlie making room for himself, working his way through. Good tackle by Hay. Hibs still have it though. Tenacious Edwards. Back to Blank. Long forward toward Gordon. Free kick to Hibs just outside the box. One would imagine that Alec Edwards would somehow try to mastermind this situation. O'Rourke and Stanton there. O'Rourke leaves it to Edwards. Edwards chips it forward. Chance for Stanton. It's a goal! Stanton scores! 15 minutes in the second half. A classic free kick situation. On a O'Rourke dummy, Edwards lobbed forward. Stanton walking round the keeper, banged the ball into the net from not an easy angle. And that's the first goal of the match. Superbly taken by Hibs skipper Pat Stanton. Headed down by Black. Hood racing for it. Breaks to McCluskey. Comes to O'Rourke. And Cropley really moving. McGreen challenging well though. Fine play by Danny McGreen under real pressure there. My goodness, Alec Cropley certainly shifted to get to that one. Duncan infield. Lovely ball to Stanton. Stanton forcing his way through. Stanton for Hibs outside the box, dispossessed. Breaks to the right. Edwards thinks about a shot, lets one go, breaks towards Brownlee. Connolly onto it quickly. Brownlee challenging. Connolly beats him nicely. Up towards the halfway line. Black and Hood thrusting for it. Comes to Edwards. What a game now. Edwards takes the ball for a long walk, keeps possession though, finally loses it. This is McCluskey, the hard-working McCluskey stepping in. Beats Edwards beautifully. Head down the line. Shadler challenging. McCluskey up very quickly. Shadler there. Back to Herriot. A tremendous game now. Picked up by Stanton. Stanton out to Edwards. Never stands still for a second. Edwards back to Stanton. Beautiful ball. O'Rourke's clear. Stanton lofting it across. O'Rourke. What a goal! What a goal! Magnificent goal by Jim O'Rourke. He's away behind the goal. There he is. A superb cross from Stanton. Edwards, Stanton, O'Rourke. 2-0. 21 minutes played in the second half. A magnificent goal. Brownlee punching it down deep into the Celtic half. Headed down by McCluskey. Stanton with a touch. Shadler. Out to Duncan. Duncan cutting infield, still has it. Loses it to Macari, but referee says a free kick. Cropley taking a wee bit of time before he takes it. Sweeps it away to the far side to Brownlee. Brownlee lofting it across. Stanton's there. Chance for Gordon. Stopped on the line. O'Rourke. Another defence-splitting move by Hibernian. Superb move. Moving inside the last minute of the match. Stanton. Down towards the corner flag. Who's up first? Stanton. Edwards. Astonishing ball control by Stanton and Edwards there. Right on the byline. And a free kick to Celtic. Referee saying to Hay and Edwards, shake hands. The handshakes are genuine. The tensions and pressures of a cup final reflected there. Both players. It's been an extremely clean and sporting match. And it's almost over. Celtic's throw. And it's time up now. I make it time up. Mr. McKenzie looking at his watch. Ball lobbed forward there. And it's all over. And at last, Hibs win the Scottish League Cup. Magnificent effort by Hibs. Stanton going across there with the team over to where the Hibs supporters are in the terracing. Celtic, magnificent losers. What a pity that one team has to lose in such a superb game. A fine adornment to all that's best in Scottish football. A fine effort by Hibs, the happiest player there, Pat Stanton, leading his team over to where the Hibs supporters are massed. And there they are, waving to them. Great jubilation.
What players in that team impressed you most?
Well, I think I've already said, I think Alec Cropley was a marvellous player for us, as was O'Rourke. John Brownlee, probably an outstanding fullback. Unfortunately, he received an injury early in his career, and there was no telling how good he was going to be. But these are just one or two. It was a really good team, that.
And of course the wee man from Fife.
A real star, yeah. But it's hard to believe, Tony, I was speaking to Alec not so long ago, and it's hard to believe that Alec never even got a Scottish cap. And when you think of some of the people who have got a few caps, some are even in that Hall of Fame, and that wee player never even got one.
And that boy Higgins never got one either.
Well, that's for another chapter, Tony, I think.
And of course on the left-hand side, Pat, you had the flyer, Arthur himself.
Yeah. And Arthur's still going strong and looking great as well. He's a wee bit greyer, but he still just looks like the same lad who turned up came to us from Partick Thistle.
And always that during that time as well, Pat, you played in that magnificent victory against that team from the other side of Edinburgh.
That's right, the Hearts, yeah. But at that time, I always felt that somebody was going to walk into it, because about a couple of days previous to that, we played Aberdeen here. And we beat Aberdeen, I think it was it 2-1 or something like that? It could have been 10, quite easily. Bobby Clark was magnificent. And it just so happened when we went to Tynecastle that day, and to be fair, Hearts could have quite easily been 2 goals up. But then once the first went in, it was just a procession after that.
A career spanning many years at Hibs. What characters do you remember vividly during your time?
Oh, there's been some, apart from yourself, Tony, there's been some great players. And a lot of the great players seem to be the great characters as well, and I think that's what got them through in the bigger games. The bigger crowds didn't seem to bother these people. You know, I played with some great players like Willie Hamilton was a great player, Eric Stevenson, and the players in that 72 team. But there was a lot of good players away in the middle 60s when Jock Stein was here. There was a real good team then. People like John Fraser, Jim Scott. People like that, John McNamee. So that was a good team as well, and it tends to get overshadowed a wee bit with the one. It was a really good team in the early 70s, don't get me wrong, but that was a good team as well.
And your wee pal Jimmy O'Rourke, he was a real character, wasn't he?
Oh well, Jimmy and I went to school together, and apart from playing here, when Hibs ever went abroad, and Hibs really went on great tours in these days. I think probably we followed in the wake of the name that the famous Five had made for themselves here. And we would go to America for 7 weeks on at a time, and Jimmy was my roommate. And I shudder to think about the things we got up to, now that we sit and talk about it, But it was a great time. I don't think we realised how lucky we were, Tony, at the time, being paid for something anybody else would have given their eye teeth for.
And also you were nicknamed the Quiet Man. Where did that derive from?
I think it was when it was my time to buy a round of drinks, Tony. Suddenly I went quiet and disappeared to the toilet. No, I was never. I don't think I was quiet on the field. But the thing is, I think what it gave you the benefit during the course of the game, you could actually kick people and get away with it. And because the ref would say he wouldn't do anything like that.
Pat would never do that, yeah.
That's right.
Well, you haven't been quiet today, Pat. Thanks very much.
You're welcome, Tony.
1875. That's when this club came alive. Now down in the Easter Road, that's where you'll find us on a Saturday. And do you remember famous fight. Keep the memories alive. Time to go for glory. Tell the happy story. East the roads, pride and glory. Time to go for glory. Tell the happy story. East the roads, pride and glory.
Early for Hibs. Harper. Picked up by Stanton. Shadler and Duncan on the left. Shadler sprinting downfield, and that's a nice cross. There's a great chance for Hibs, and the ball's in the net, and it's a goal. McLeod has scored for Hibs in the 19th minute. A beautifully taken goal. Richly deserved by Hibs, who've played some sparkling football. Rangers 1 goal down.
Duncan swinging across with his right foot. That was Ford who headed it out. Alan Gordon. Shadler chipping it back in again. Harper trying to make sure he's onside. Try back, deflected. Alec Edwards had the shot. Alec Edwards shot that one. Thompson Allen appeared to have it covered, and the ball spun off a defender into goal.
Got with the Stanton. Duncan lying wide. O'Rourke looks to the centre with Gordon. Duncan still waiting, holding back for the pass. Gets it, floats it right footed into the centre. Gordon, a beautiful leap down towards O'Rourke. Stanton there. Tremendous save, but it's not cleared yet. It's headed in by O'Rourke, and it's a goal. O'Rourke is the scorer, and the air defence feel that they could have got that one away. However, 4 minutes played in the second half. Hibs are level.
Well, the long stride of Callaghan, carrying him clear. This is Ray. Running straight into Steele. Now Ford, playing it forward. McLaren there before Russell. Well, Derek Steele has shown himself to be very good in the air. 5 minutes to half-time. Breaking now back to Ray from Murray. Chance for Murray. And the ball finds its way into the net. Well, I don't think the Hibs players are sure who to congratulate. At the end of the day, I think it's Gordon Ray getting the credit. So Hibs go ahead. Well, a scrambled goal, but a reward for some very good linking play up front between Ray and Murray. It was Ray who teed it up for Murray. He seemed to have a good chance in that sea of legs. The ball eventually emerging and rolling into the Rovers' net. Well, some very happy Hibs supporters. Challenged by Urquhart. Two very strong men together. There's Urquhart. Look as though he'd relished tackling a tank. Brown playing it in. Headed down by Thompson. McNamara to Callaghan. Hibs go two in front. Ralph Callaghan gets his 7th goal of the season, and Hibs get the perfect start to the second half. The initial clearance by Dave Thompson, picked up by McNamara, the lofted ball back into the box. Callaghan found some space behind the Rovers' defence, and the finish just getting in at the post.
Well, let's see what Hibs can provide from this set piece.
three-man wall as it's chipped forward. There's Gordon Ray, and that's the second goal. Well, Ray's joy, certainly understandable. After taking that heavy fall to give Hibs a free kick, he's put them two in front. And again, a marvellous set piece from Hibs. Chipped forward by Callaghan, picking out Ray. The control was excellent, the finish was even better. And that's perhaps justice for Gordon Ray. Hooked away by Whittaker, straight to Brazil. Murray turning quickly. Rough's in trouble. And the rebound comfortably knocked in by McLeod. Well, that should be the clincher. McLeod gets his second of the day and his fifth of the season. And Hibs go three in front. The clearance from Whittaker originally falling straight to Brazil. He returned it immediately to Gary Murray, who reacted quicker than any Thistle defender. Rough caught in two minds, clever lob by Murray, and as it came off the crossbar, there was McLeod.
Edwards, brought down by Brown. Kick quickly taken. Brownlee, lovely touch from Brownlee. Good sweeping forward down the closing moments of the first half. This is Harper. Harper lets one go, and it's there! What a goal by Harper. 90 seconds from half-time. Joe Harper makes it 1-0 for Hibs. Hibs' 15th goal of the season, Harper's 7th, and what a goal.
We're standing proud, our heads held high. Here's our team that would not die. In green and white, our colors true. We're the high beast, Hibs Hibernian. So here's to the future and success. Time to show them who's the best.
And it's Hibernian fairly turning on this style. They're surging forward once again, and here's a chance, and a tremendous goal for Hibs. Oh, they'll be dancing in the streets of Leith tonight. And oh my goodness, the High B fans are loving this. They're on the attack again, and it's there, another magnificent goal.
To go to glory. Tell the high beast story. East the rose, pride and glory. Yes, it's time to go for glory.
Being Leith born and bred, Yogi, it must be magnificent to be back here as captain of the club.
I'm delighted, it's a great honour, and we've been going well this season, so I'm honoured to be the captain.
What's your memory as a child of the Hibs team then? Who was the stars in those days when you first followed the team?
Alec Cropley and all that, yourself.
Oh, is that right?
But I've heard folks saying that we're someone similar to that team in the 70s, but I think when I watched them, we've got a long way to go to catch these guys.
And of course, you must have fond memories of that team in the 70s when you were a supporter.
That's right. Alec Cropley was one of my favourites. And when I used to play junior with Newton Grange Star, and his brother Tom was the coach. And it was when Alec was finished, but he used to come along and train with us, and you could still see how quality a player he was.
Pat Stanton, another great hero of yours.
Different class, and Pat still comes about the club, you know, he's always got a bit of advice for you, and it's good for the young boys and myself. Any kind of advice for a legend like that, you know, it's well appreciated.
And of course the big slim boy, Tony Higgins, played.
Yeah, Tony, I seen you playing, I seen you scoring a few goals as well. Exactly.
What do you recognise as your main strength of the current team?
The way we attack. We've got players with bags of ability like Chick Charnley, and he's got a great outlet in Tony Ruggie, who entertain the fans. And if the gaffers always says to us before we go, if we can keep a clean sheet, we'll always score goals.
And the current young players coming through?
They're coming through in abundance, and I'm sure in the next couple of years you'll see 2 or 3 of them coming right into the first team.
And of course, being the Hibs captain, you'll be looking forward to lifting some silverware.
Yeah, I'm delighted. I was fortunate enough to see when the team won the cup there in '91, I think it was, coming down Leaf. I was standing at the foot of Leaf Walk with a few of the mates, and I'd love to be on the bus with silverware.
OK, John, thank you.
Cheers, Tony.
Been here now about 6 years, I think. It's been a wee bit change in the past couple of years, but it's been good. I think the new manager that's come in, I think he's brought in a lot of good players. And there's a lot of feeling that we can do things this year.
Known as the Punch and Judy of Easter Road, 2 great club mates. What's your version of this man, Jimmy?
I think he's one of the best players I've ever seen. no, he's really
Neil Eyes.
a good player, very good left foot. I don't have to say that because he's just here. He will have a head like that.
And then check, of course, you're a man of many clubs. In fact, we tried to total it. Is it 8 clubs you've played for?
8, I think, aye.
You've now settled at Hibs. Is this the place you should have been from the start?
Well, I don't know, but delighted to be here and get me our Christmas anyway.
And your relationship with the fans?
Aye, anywhere I've been, I've always got a good relationship with them.
What's your special memories in your time here? You've scored some fantastic goals.
I would have to say the Celtic game. You know what I mean? With a goal in that game, I was delighted with that. But I thought the one against Alba was even better. And unfortunately,
You didn't want to do that.
The cameras weren't there.
Tell to everybody that you didn't want to do that.
Describe the goal for us, Ed Chick, in your own words.
It's a flying header. Believe that if you want. No, I just inside main half and I just scalped it and it flew in. I ran out to my dad, shook his horn at the side and got a bit of stick for it.
And of course you practice this on the training ground every day, is that right?
Well, aye. But I try it, but it's only the second time it's come off for us. Delighted.
I think the things that the fans have noticed this season is the return to the old Hibs traditional values of getting forward. You must be delighted to be part of this setup then.
Some of the stuff we've been playing has been absolutely brilliant. But he's the nearest I've saw to Pelé. Just the colour, I mean.
Well, it must be interesting because you now have the French, the English and the Icelandic. Any communication problems?
I don't know.
Not for me.
No.
I don't think so.
No.
They're all the same once you go in a football park.
So football is international language?
Yeah.
That's it.
Thanks very much.
All right, Tony.
After an unhappy spell at Millwall, you must have been delighted to come back to Hibs.
Yep, things started okay down at Mull for myself and Jimmy Nicholl when I went down there. But getting the chance to come to a club the size of Hibs, it was just too good an opportunity to turn down and play in top flight football again.
Are you enjoying the attacking formation that's been set out this season?
Yep, both the manager and Jackie encourage you to play the ball on the deck and have a right go at teams, and I think the players that they brought in show that that's the way they want to play football.
You're obviously the Young Player of the Year 3 years ago, the SPFA award. People reckon you should be pushing through to the international team. Do you reckon you can do that?
Well, I've had a taste of it. I went to Japan a couple of years ago and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Played numerous games at under 21 as well, and it's always good to be involved in things like that. So I've got to give myself that aim, and hopefully a good season at Hibs I could be pushing on the door.
And you're a firm favourite already with the Hibs fans?
Yeah, that's good to hear. I think myself and Barry scored a few goals between us. Although we've not played with each other that long, hopefully we can consolidate in that and make it a good partnership.
And what's your priority for this season, to consolidate and move for a European place?
I think we got off to a flyer. Results the last month or so haven't been the best, but hopefully we'll be able to push for a place for Europe. We've got to give ourselves that aim and have a good run in the Scottish Cup, hopefully.
And how do you deal with the languages in the team? You've got a French left back, you've got an Icelandic goalie and a Glaswegian beside you in midfield.
Yeah. Well, probably Chick's the hardest one to understand out of them all, because Jimmy and Big Ollie are very good at speaking English. But I think when you're out in the park anyway, it's more like body movement. It shows when you're playing football anyway.
Well, it's a lot better being a player. I think most managers will tell you that. And when you go out on a Saturday, you look forward to playing, and there's nothing gives you a greater excitement than the whistle blowing on a Saturday and the crowd cheering and and then getting involved in the game, especially when you're up against the top class players. So there's nothing beats that. But as a manager, then I suppose there's more thought goes into the game. You're always wondering if you've picked the right team, if you've chosen the right tactics. I love being a manager. As I said, it's the second best job next to being a player.
Great players, marvellous fans. This is still a very, very special place.